we find the captain of a ship which has brought Andrew and Paul to some city. Andrew has gone towards the city. Paul has plunged into the sea to visit the underworld and leave a message for Andrew to bring him up again. The shipman's mother, dim of sight, comes to meet her son, and he, having Paul's cloak to bring to Andrew, accidentally touches her eyes with it, and she sees clearly. Andrew takes the cloak and goes to the city with the multitude. A man meets him and begs him to visit and cure his only son, 12 years old, who is dying. But the Jews oppose his entrance. He tells the father to return home. His boy will die, but he must not bury him till the morrow. The father goes home and finds him dead. Andrew returns to the ship and makes the shipman point out the place where Paul dived into the sea. He takes a cup of fresh water, prays, and pours it into the sea, bidding the salt water retreat, and the dry land appears. The abyss cleaves, and Paul leaps up, bearing a fragment of wood in his hand. He has visited Amante and seen Judas and heard his story. Judas had repented and given back the money, and seen Jesus and pleaded for forgiveness. Jesus sent him to the desert to repent, bidding him fear no one but God. The prince of destruction came to him and threatened to swallow him up, and Judas was afraid and worshipped him. Then in despair he thought to go and ask Jesus again for pardon, but he had been taken away to the praetorium. So he resolved to hang himself and meet Jesus in Amante. Jesus came and took all the souls for his. The powers of Amante came and wept before Satan, who said, "After all, we are stronger than Jesus. He has had to leave a soul with us." Jesus ordered Michael to take away Judas' soul also, that Satan's boast might be proved vain, and told Judas how he had destroyed his own hopes by worshipping Satan and killing himself. Judas was sent back till the day of judgment. Paul tells also how he saw the streets of Amante desolate, and brought away a fragment of the broken gates in his hand. There were still some souls in punishment, the murderers, sorcerers, and those who cast little children into the water. The apostles land, and with Apollonius the shipman go up to the city. The Jews refuse to let them in. They see a bird which is called true digging in a wall. Andrew says, "You bird, go into the city to where the dead boys, and tell them that we are at the gate and cannot enter. Let them open to us." The bird gives the message and the people threaten to stone the Jews. At this point the governor comes out. The matter is explained to him by the people and by the Jews, who add, "If they are the disciples of the living God, why does he not open the gate for them?" The governor is impressed by this and calls on the apostles to open for themselves. They consult, and Paul, suddenly, inspired, strikes the gates with a fragment of wood from Amante, and they are swallowed up in the earth. The apostles say that the only thing is to order the dead man to be loosed. The Jews seek to flee, but they are held by the soldiers till the grave clothes are loosed. The apostles pray. The dead man rises and falls at the apostles' feet, saying, "Forgive me for my folly," and tells everything that had happened. Andrew says to the Jews, who is now the deceiver of the people, "We are you?" It appears from this that the dead man in question has been an accomplice of the Jews in their trick, and is not the dead child whom the apostles were to raise, and doubtless did raise when they first entered the city. This is confirmed by the next words of the Jews. They fall at the apostles' feet and say, "We killed him in folly, thinking that he would not rise." They ask for baptism. And the act concludes with a general conversion, apparently of 27,000 Jews.